what's up? Welcome to a new video. I'm in the city right now. I'm sitting inside a bodega because I just had breakfast, even though it is 1 in the afternoon. But I'm here because I'm shooting with a model named Sophia. We actually shot back in November of last year, and we got some really good portrait shots. So she messaged me and asked if I wanted to shoot again. So I said, like, I'm so down, and I asked her if it'd be cool to have her in the video. So yeah, we're just gonna shoot today in different areas around the city, and I'm gonna take you guys along with me. I'm gonna show you kind of how I do things and how I kind of differentiate my street photography from my portrait shooting, because I've done a lot of portrait shoots in the years I've been a photographer. So yeah, it should be interesting. It's like 90 degrees outside and it's absolutely scorching. My back's entirely sweaty, but yeah, let's go do it. So that clip that you just saw was the only talking head clip that I shot that entire day, because I could not be bothered to remember to do video while I was taking photos. So yeah, instead I'm just gonna walk you through the shoot from the comfort of my room. I also didn't realize that the way I mounted my Osmo onto my backpack strap made some of these shots turn out like this. Oh, and so yeah, if I used any of those clips in this video, then I apologize. Moving on. So Sophia approached me with the idea of getting more summer-esque shots this time around, because the last time we shot was in the fall, so obviously the outfit choices were a lot different. She sent me 3 different dress options, and we decided to go with this blood orange one because I just kind of felt that it fit that summer theme. And the other one was this navy blue dress that was a little bit more on the elegant side. I actually didn't film any footage during that portion of the video when we were taking photos with the blue dress, but I'm still gonna touch on some of the shots in this video. Once we picked out the outfits, I had a rough idea of where I wanted to shoot, and we ended up landing on the East Village as well as the West Village. Since the orange dress was a little bit more vibrant, I thought it fit well with the East Village and the Lower East Side, because both of those places are a little bit more energetic, to me at least. And the blue dress seemed to mesh a little bit more with the West Village, just because of that elegance, I guess. I wanted to keep my kit light for this shoot, so I decided to shoot with the Sony a7 IV paired with the Sony 50mm f2.5G lens, as well as the Samyang 35mm f1.8. I also used my Olympus AF1 for a few film shots, and I already had a Lomo 400 in the camera, so I finished that roll out, and then Sophia also brought Fuji 200 that she had lying around, so I popped that in afterwards. We met up around 1:30 because I wanted to make use of that light to fit the summer theme as much as I could, and so to warm up, we shot by this little construction area in the street because the colors matched her dress really well. Yeah, like just right there is perfect. Ready? Look over that way for me. Perfect. Okay, let's see. Just like lean over like this, like really like nonchalantly, and just look right here. Perfect. Nice. Can you go back into the little walkway and walk towards me? And go. Walk, look this way. Cool.
Ooh, the colors.
Yeah, they're really good.
The colors look great.
Especially with like the red building too.
Yeah.
This area kind of foreshadowed how the rest of the shoot went in terms of playing with color, especially when it came to the orange dress. Throughout this video, you'll notice that color played a really big role in determining kind of where we stopped and shot at. And this makes sense because in my street photography as well, color is one of those visual cues that I tend to notice a little bit more over others. So it just makes sense as to how it seeped into the photos from this day. Perfect, right there, yep. Look over this way for me. Perfect. We walked a bit further down the road, and I noticed this like wall of like fake leaves, and I thought it might be worth it to stop and get a few shots, just because green and red are complementary colors and orange is close enough to red, so I thought it might make for some nice color contrast. We also spotted this red building right in that same location, so I had Sophia stand in front of it for a few shots. Can you walk towards me real quick? Cool.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
Those are pretty.
Ready? Go. Perfect. Moving on, we wandered around some of the quieter streets in the area and we stumbled upon this green door that was surrounded by red brick, and it obviously fit that complementary color theme. I had Sophia stand in front of the door, and the fire escape that was actually above us was creating some interesting patches of light on her face and on the dress, so I thought that added another visual element to these shots. I always try to remember to shoot close-ups as well as medium and wide shots, just to pull as much variety out of a scene as I can, and I usually find that 35mm is the perfect focal length to do that without being too distorted. 1, 2, perfect. Can you put like your elbow on like this top and kind of like almost like lean your hand into your, yeah, perfect, just like that. Sweet. Right down the road, the shadows that were being cast onto this red building by a different fire escape kind of piqued my interest, so I had Sophia walk towards the camera while I shot from a slightly lower angle in order to show as much of that background as I could. The next spot was this red outdoor seating area, which turned out to be one of my favorite locations from the day.
Do you want to do something here first?
I think so. I see where how like the shadows of like the
tree right
there.
there?
Coming over there.
Do you want me to stand in the middle of that?
Yeah, so you can put your stuff down like right here. I wanted to play around with the shadows that the leaves were casting onto the red surface, but when I put Sophia in that spot, the sun was a little bit too harsh on her face, so I thought that if I went inside the seating area, I could shoot through those like vinyl rubber windows, and they were kind of dirty, so it added some texture, and because they were also floppy, there were some interesting streaks of light. Yeah, come a little closer on this side. Yeah, perfect. And almost like, try like, pretend like you're leaning over this. Oh, ready? Using windows to frame up shots, whether it be like a storefront or a car window, is something I like to do when I'm shooting street. And it's just as fun doing it with portraits because you literally have the power to put your subject, your model, you know, exactly where you want within that frame. After a few of those shots, I had Sophia come inside because the sun was illuminating the red so perfectly, and I wanted to fill the frame with that color. Perfect, hold that. Look at me right here. Perfect. Can you like lean back almost like on your hands? Yeah.
Wait, can we do a couple more like that?
Like this?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just want to cross my leg.
That's fine. Awesome. I was recently talking to a friend named Hani, who by the way is a fantastic street and portrait photographer. You should definitely go check him out. And on the topic of blending street photography with portraits, he mentions that you want to do your best to keep the focus of the photos on your subject, on the model, and not stray too far into that street photography way of thinking where everything needs to be like candid and unplanned. While you can obviously get spur of the moment candid shots when you're doing a portrait shoot, he said that one of the ways to keep the focus on the model was to make sure that your compositions are actually pretty planned out and that they actually complement the model instead of distracting from them. There's obviously a time and place for those rapid fire shots where you're not thinking too much about lighting or composition, and you also have to factor in what the model wants. But I think what Hani was generally trying to say is that the shots that stand out will usually be the ones where the location and the composition put emphasis on the model and mesh with their look. This was one of the best pieces of advice that I've gotten, and I also hope that it can resonate with you if you are a street photographer looking to get into portraits. Before we started making our way towards the West Village, I wanted to stop in this little elevated park on the corner of Grand and Christie, right between Lower East Side and Chinatown. My thought was to have Sophia standing by the fence overlooking the crosswalk and get shots with the buildings in the background and people potentially crossing the street. I like to try to incorporate other people in the photos, but in a way that doesn't distract from the subject. So I was able to do this with a high angle kind of shooting down, getting Sophia in the shot, but also getting a few people crossing in the crosswalk. I had Sophia walk down onto the sidewalk while I stayed up on that elevated surface, and so I got a few shots of her standing on the corner as well as walking in the street. As we made our way over to the west side, we stopped at this construction area in Soho, and the colors are great, so we got a few shots in between red lights. The sun was starting to come down at a bit of an angle, so it was giving some side light, which worked really nicely. This scene actually had some good depth to it, and that was because of the staggered traffic drums, the caution tape that added a nice pop of yellow, the very aesthetic porta potty, and the red building in the background with the white fire escape. I had Sophia move around and try different poses, and I also tried to get some slow shutter shots that are incredibly hard to nail when you're trying to get your model's face in focus, but it's basically a case of spray and pray and just hoping that you get one where it looks relatively normal. If you want to go right now, go for it. Nope, just kidding. It's okay.
I hesitated.
I know, it's all right. Actually, I'm gonna have you walk into the light this way.
Okay.
So that's where the light's coming from, so. And go. Perfect. After that, we made our way over to the West Village where Sophia did an outfit change into this like longer, sleeker blue dress. And the first location that we shot was this like bar slash restaurant, which was blue, and that caught my eye. However, instead of just placing Sophia in front of another matching color, I wanted to get a little bit more creative, so I had her stand in the sidewalk, and I used the window to shoot some reflections while also incorporating that color. This is another one of those techniques that I use when shooting street, and these turned out to be a little bit more abstract, but I was purposefully shooting to get blurrier images while using some of the elements behind the bar as well as behind me in the background to add some shapes to the photos. The last location was this intersection in the West Village where I had Sophia stand and walk through the crosswalk, and we had a clear view of the World Trade Center in the background. We finished off the roll of film a little bit further up north in the meatpacking district, and that was the end of our shoot. The day went really smoothly, so shout out to Sophia for another great shoot. She's always really easy to work with and open-minded. So go follow her over on Instagram, and I'm sure this won't be the last time that we shoot together. I also posted the photos over on Instagram, so if you want to give me a follow, you can see more of what I'm up to. I hope you were able to take away something from this video, and if you don't already do portraits, I do encourage you to go out and try them because it is a fun genre to explore, especially when coming over from street photography. You don't need a professional model to take portraits. Just grab a friend, have fun, and be experimental and open-minded. That's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.